Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Doom Productions.
Welcome.
We're doing a little something different today. We've been hard at work. We just want to relax, but we also want to make a video. So we thought we'd do kind of a longer talking video. No cuts, no music, or maybe some music. But like, we're not going to be editing around. This is kind of our conversation. I don't want to say the word podcast, but
It feels like a podcast.
feels like a podcast. Essentially, we just wanted to update you all and just talk about what we're working on, what we've been watching. So, what are you working on, Ethan? So we have announced that we are making 5 feature film this year and 1 short, as well as weekly content. What are you working on right now?
Right now, I'm working on a lot of VFX for the short. A lot of new stuff we're trying out. A lot of things that are just different for us. So it's been a learning journey, which has been great. It's kind of one of those projects that has like forced me to learn stuff that I didn't know how to do before.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, is the best motivator really, is like, I don't think I ever just sat down and learned an effect just to learn it. And if I ever did, I'm pretty sure I've forgotten how to do those. I think those kind of things just stick a lot better when you work on them for a project that you're like really motivated about. So
I think that's the only way we've learned.
yeah, no, I think I've tried before, like, those Film Riot kind of edits, or where they're like, oh, try this effect, you can kick your friend into space kind of stuff. And like, I don't know. I think you lose motivation so quick working on those.
If it doesn't feel like it's for something.
So I've been working on that. And then like there's a little film that we've been working on for a couple of years that I'm trying to finish up. That's been kind of outside of our announcements, because it's just kind of
the trailer is up on our channel.
That's true. Yeah.
So we can talk about.
We'll talk about it. Yeah. So there's this movie we've been working on for a couple of years called Driving Mr. President, and it has a great story that I won't tell you all of it here, because I want to make like a kind of a behind the scenes documentary discussing its journey into being made whenever it comes out. So trying to get that kind of finished. It's one of those projects where like, burnout was just a real issue. But also you'll find out more about it when we actually release it and talk about it, whenever we release it, because it's got, in the political scape and climate that we are currently in, even though this movie has very little to do with any of it, we feel it is in the best taste to hold off, which has given me some time to kind of like recoup on the project and kind of come back around to actually working on it. So
it's not like highly offensive. It's just,
it could come across as tone deaf, I guess, maybe at best. And we just,
it's really a cartoony. It's just about, we can say it's about a president and his goofy sidekick, pretty much.
Yeah.
But things are a little tough right now.
Things are a little rough over here in the good old U.S. of A.
Yeah.
So we're just holding off on it for now. But I'm not going to say when it comes out, because even a couple weeks ago I said it was going to come out this year, and all of a sudden here we are, and now I'm just like, ooh, I'm not going to put any dates on it yet. So, but that's something we're kind of working on slowly, just as a back burner project.
And that is not the short that we have talked about. That is something separate.
That's something totally different. Yeah, this short though is that's been my main focus though, because that's going to come out way sooner no matter what.
Yeah.
So I want that to have my full attention, and if I'm going to run into issues, which I mean, it's hard, like learning how to do new effects. There's some stuff that I thought I would be able to jump in and do really easily that now I'm looking at like, oh, this is kind of difficult actually. So a lot of stuff with like tracking. I've never been good at tracking in After Effects. I don't know why, but I've always struggled with it. So kind of getting that down, and some of it I just got to do by hand, and getting familiar with the plugins and all that. I never spend a ton of time in After Effects, and if I do, I'm used to like green screening and kind of getting people into like a location, but usually that's also static. So that's kind of just been tricky to get used to. A lot of tutorials, a lot of stuff. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, how did they get it so good? I feel like I'm missing something. And I'm sure the thing I'm missing is probably just experience.
Practice, experience, yeah.
So I'm just doing that. What about you?
So I, like you, I am working on sound editing for our, we can say the genre.
Sure.
Not specific. We're working on the short we're making is a sci-fi short. So I'm working on the sound design for it. And I mean, it's one of those things where I really want to get it right. So I'm just like, I mean, what happens sound editing wise isn't super difficult necessarily. It's just you got to find that right levels and everything. Right now, there's a couple effects that use really low bass rumbly tones.
Yeah.
And so you put your headphones on, your editing headphones, and you play it, and it's sounds fine. And you mix it to how it should sound good. And then you take the headphones off, you do the computer test, and you don't hear it at all on the computer, which is one of those things that I really, we did this on October, of like mixing the audio to sound really good on either headphones or computer or TV, which is something I really, that's something that I think movie studios should do better.
Yeah.
Right now, they just kind of release the surround sound mix, and it's like most people don't have surround sound.
You're missing out on
like the
half
5 point, yeah. And it's not mixed really, so it's super quiet or loud.
Yeah.
I really want to mix. I mean, every movie I make, I want to mix it so you can hear it really good on any phone, laptop,
where it's actually going to get watched most of the time.
yeah. Or on whatever you're going to watch. So, I mean, again, not super I mean, this is a really important short to us. Personally,
Yeah.
possibly career-wise. I mean,
Who knows?
who knows? But just personally, it's a really personal project for us. So we want to be really, we want to make it, I mean, like you want to do the effects.
You want to do it
really well.
perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
you want to do justice to what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to, I don't want to give 90%
Yeah,
when
exactly.
the 10% is just right there.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
if I can see something that's wrong, like I probably should go in and fix it as opposed to what I'd usually do, which is it's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, this is a short that, yeah, it just requires that. So the sound mixing has been, I've been working on that. And then I've also been working on, I go back and forth a whole lot. You know this.
Yep.
They don't know this necessarily. I mean, I think both of us actually do.
We get excited about new ideas.
Yeah. And then we jump ship pretty frequently. But I think once we commit to once we find the right idea, we stick with it. I don't think there's ever been a project where we're like, let's do this, and then we say no, but then we go back to it. Then we say no.
There's
then we
only
go back.
one. There's only one I can think of that we do
actually,
that for.
I know.
There's only one.
There's only one, but
Still haven't made it.
that's because the idea is too good to
Yeah.
believe. But with this, so the feature, I'm working on the feature that one of the features we're going to make this year.
This is the one that we're probably going to make first too. So.
Yeah. And so the feature, I've jumped around. There were two other ideas before this. And the first one was required too many people. The second one was fun, but it was kind of semi-meaningless, but also just a whole lot.
Yeah.
This next one, I think I found it. So it's, what's the genre? Say crime, thriller kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think I'll hang on to the concept now.
Yeah.
Like the synopsis. Nah, screw it. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, who's watching? Okay, it's about a dude. So we convert videotapes on the side. So like people will bring us their videotapes and we'll convert them to DVD or digital. That's just something we know how to do. We've been doing. So this movie is about a guy who is converting tapes for someone, and they find some incriminating evidence on said tape. I'll leave it at that. And so then it's like, what does that person do next? We don't know. Yeah. So that's in the writing. Well, I just outlined it not too long ago. It was actually pretty quick. I think I had the idea a few days ago. Then I outlined it all and I started writing it 2 nights ago or something. So yeah, it's being written, which is one of my favorite parts of filmmaking. So it's always fun because it's like, yay, I don't have to film.
You can put whatever you want into it, and logistics just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about all the pain you'll go through later to actually get that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, writing's been going pretty smooth. And again, I think it's not always like this. Sometimes you struggle with writing and brainstorming and everything.
Oh yeah.
But when you find the right idea, for me, I find that like when I find a good idea, the first draft just like goes right by, and it's all good. It's not always the case, but for the movies, for most of the stuff that I've written that we've shot. Like that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
So that's going well.
Good.
What else? I mean, I try not to work on too much. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think earlier in the year, I was boarding one project. I was writing another. I was doing our sound mixing. I was doing
Too much.
I was trying to outline other projects. It was too much. I don't know how you work, but I can only focus on maybe 2 projects at a time. And if I am, they have to be at different stages.
Mm-hmm.
We're mixing one film and I'm writing another, 2 completely different stages. That's kind of how I work, but
totally.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, we have really different approaches to our own films too, because you're really big on the writing stuff, and I appreciate script writing and screenwriting, and I can do it when I need to, but it's not. I don't get that level of excitement in it. I love coming up with the idea, and I love the daydreaming of it, and I love the drawing it out. I actually, if you watched my behind the scenes of putting together my movie House, I didn't even write a script for it. I wrote bullet points of what happened, and then I kind of, just shot it. The feature I'm working on, I'm kind of trying to make that house approach more professional, where I'm still kind of writing these more bullet pointed outlines of what happens, but kind of how we shot October, where we had like a notebook where it was all boarded out, all the lines were written in it, so it was kind of like this weird pseudo comic book storyboard script all kind of in one. That's kind of where I'm going with it at this point. That's what I'm kind of getting ready for. Because I've always just found myself getting stuck at a certain point, and I want to like improve on it, but I don't necessarily like have the patience always to stick with it. And then always like the next project happens, and I kind of get sidetracked and I go over there. But I agree. Like for Driver Mr. President and our short film, our sci-fi short, I can't. They're both in the same stage, so I'm really trying to focus on the sci-fi one. And Driver Mr. President's like I'll get to it when I have the time or whenever. I don't want to neglect one over the other, especially our sci-fi short. Like that just has to come first. So that's fine with me. But I think it's cool that, I think people get hung up on screenwriting a lot, and I used to, and I still kind of do, where it's like, I don't write stories. I just shoot them. I'm just a cinematographer. And I kind of really sat in that boat for a long time. And now I'm kind of realizing like, I think I kind of missed out and not that I don't have tons of time to rediscover and keep making more stuff, but I think I held myself back for a number of years because I was just a camera guy and nothing else. Now I'm like, well, shoot, I want to make all these other movies. How can I, instead of just sticking with, pulling teeth and writing a script the right way, like just find the way that works for you that gets the story told. And if it comes out the same, then great, just keep doing that. And I think that's kind of was a discovery in making House, was like, I don't need to spend hours and hours, butting my head against a wall trying to get a script to work when an outline and other ways can work. And that's not to say screenwriting isn't super important skill to have. I mean, really working. I mean, I think if you're, if you want to work in that like really structured environment, you'd probably want to learn that skill. But if you're making your own movies, then screw it. Like,
no, I agree. Because I've been writing since. It's like ridiculous how long, since middle school, since grade school, like writing movies has been something I've always done. I'm not saying I'm amazing at it, because clearly living in my mom's house, I have made it. I'm a successful screenwriter. No, but it's just, in my opinion, it's not the most important it's not the most important part of a film.
No.
And I think that's a thing that people get hung up on. It's important to know those skills, and I think it's important to know character and how movies can be structured around character. But, I mean, not every movie is like that. Because I'm going to do a series about tips for no budget writer directors that I'm going to be filming soon. Or maybe by this point I have. I don't know. But if I am, there's a link right there. My kind of theory on film is it's an emotional experience. The story is secondary. You can tell a story in a book, in a comic, in music, whatever. A story is not what makes film unique, and what makes film unique is editing, which is putting images and sounds together. And conveying that emotion, kind of very similar to how music does or dancing can do. So I don't think so. There's this idea out there that like there's the perfect screenplay
Yeah.
that can be written, like where it's all the setups are there, all the punchlines are there, and it's like perfectly weaves in and out, and it's like I don't buy that
The
at all.
computer script, essentially, like
Listen,
so.
listen,
yeah.
there are some beautifully made movies out there, really well structured, technically well written, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to name names or anything or list anything, but I see them and I'm like, this feels like it was written by a computer. This feels like it was written by someone who, like, studied all the rules in screenwriting and just followed them, or just did everything you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And there's no risk. There's no like. I don't feel anything when everything's too perfect.
Yeah.
You know, no film is perfect. So, like, and they'll use that like against a movie. Like they'll be like, it didn't have the best dialogue, but no film is perfect. And it's like, well, then why do you give that a knock?
Yeah.
If no film is perfect, then every movie can be perfect
Yeah.
or whatever. There's a new kind of perfection in there. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm at the stage where I'm like, script writing is kind of all BS. I mean, but at the same time, I know it's important. But at the same time, I'm like, it's really dumb.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, having the argument of like an objectively great movie is like it's an impossible thing. 'Cause it's like, you know, Star Wars is an example. I was kind of discussing it with someone a couple weeks ago, and they were like, "Yeah, I think George Lucas is a good world builder, but I think he's terrible at directing or making movies." I'm like, I know, like you can disagree and not like it, and that's totally fine. Like I don't care if you like Star Wars or not. Like I love it. Obviously, we love it, but you know, like George had a very specific thing that he set out to do, and he. You know, if you asked him, did you make the movies you wanted to make? He'd probably say yes. And in that case, I think Star Wars, you know, is an absolute success. And I think any movie, if you're making your film and it's the way you want it and you look at it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I did it. Great. You made your movie perfect. And then as far as I'm concerned, that's an objectively perfect film because the director, the filmmaker made the movie you wanted. And that, you know, that doesn't change by what the opinions of your viewers are or reviewer or anything. Like, as long as you can go to sleep tonight knowing you made your movie the best that you could and it came out how you liked, like, great, dude, you're living the dream. Yeah,
Star Wars is such a perfect example in terms of like artistic freedom. At least the George Lucas era.
Yeah.
Can't really. I mean, Disney's very behind closed doors. We don't know how much freedom they had.
Yeah.
But with Lucas, it was like that was it. I love the prequels and I love his like 6 movies, in particular. And I think that's like, I mean, people used to make fun of him for saying like, he gave that analogy of like, I'm painting a house green and someone says you should paint it blue. You know, he gave that analogy of like, that's what an artist is. Like, it's not about what other people want. It's about what you as the artist want. And people would make fun of him for that. Like, how dare he have artistic freedom and integrity? Like,
that's dumb.
That's dumb. Like, he was making the movies the way, like, this could get into a whole Star Wars tangent, but like the bad dialogue thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into it now. I don't think that's bad dialogue because George Lucas intentionally wrote it to have a certain effect and do a specific thing, and he achieved that.
Yeah.
And he has said that he has achieved that several times. When you make a movie, and if you want it to do a certain thing, and you achieve that and you're happy, then it's a good movie.
Yeah.
You're the only, if the filmmaker, you're the only one who has the say on that.
And it's cool. And I think that comes twofold. You know, if you don't like a movie, that's great. No one's going to force you to ever like a film for something. So if that bugs you or irks you that someone made a movie this certain way, like, that's fine. There's other movies out there. That's great. That's what's so great is like every movie. I think whenever we get into this discussion, it always ends with, you know, every movie is someone's favorite movie.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to I don't want someone trashing on my favorite films.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to trash on someone else's.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, I think that's what's great in the freedom of filmmaking is there's so much out there. There's so many stories to tell. It's, you know, we're a storytelling species is what we do.
Yeah.
So the fact that, you know, there's so much out there is just, it's incredible.
Well, and it's like, I just don't think, when there is so much out there, I think we both feel this, like, there's no reason to dwell on like movies we personally hate or don't like.
Yeah.
They exist. There's movies I don't like. There's movies I don't care for, and that kind. But I don't spend much time thinking about it because honestly, I'll see a movie and if I don't like it, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I didn't care for it, and then I'll move on. I don't.
It's kind of exhausting to hate a movie.
It really is.
Like,
You
oh,
can't
man.
focus your energy on that bitterness and anger of like hating a movie. Like, I'm trying to think of an example without trying to give a specific example, because I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about movies that I don't like, because I think that's just bad taste.
Yeah.
If we're filmmakers trashing other filmmakers,
Totally.
but
Should make a movie or video about that sometime.
I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think there's so much out there to enjoy. Why focus on what you don't enjoy? That's like going to a buffet and being like, ew, that pizza's disgusting, when there's like so many other options. Like there's cake, there's burgers, or whatever.
But no, this pizza is bad.
Yeah, exactly. That's really
Like,
what
oh,
it's
man.
like. There's no point in being like, this movie sucks, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't think if we were filmmakers, we'd feel the same way.
No, I don't think so. And I think there's some valid, form. Like, I think it's a valid way to criticize a film too, and address and discuss those kind of things that you don't like. But going at it, pitchforks and torches is just not. I think I saw the tweet that summed it up to me so well is one that I saw. It was just the blue button and red button. It was like, film is a masterpiece or film is absolute trash. And it's like, which one is it? And it's like, those are the only two options there really is, it feels like, anymore. And in at least online discussion of what films are like. And it's like, man, why did movies stop being fun?
Well, movies are like, this is what I think like with films, it's like you either like the movie or you don't.
Yeah.
And then you come up with reasons why. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, we saw Star Wars and we loved Star Wars. Yeah. And so we were like, I like this movie. So every kind of breaking down critical reason of why we like Star Wars is just to support why we like it.
Yeah.
If you see Star Wars and you hated it, you're just going to come up with a list of reasons why you don't like it. Mm-hmm. And it's not really like the same reasons you like a movie could be the reason someone doesn't like a movie. Mm-hmm. So again, they're not really they're more opinions than there are like reasons, like knocks for or against a movie.
Yeah, and you're both right. I mean, because it's how you perceive that film, and that's like your own experiences in life is going to influence that taste. And it's like you're both valid.
Yeah.
But like the hate about it is like, no, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's film criticism is in a weird place right now with social media.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get into it.
No.
It's
exhausting.
So
it's
negative.
so exhausting.
But film it's all subjective.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, I personally I love everything about the prequels. Mm-hmm. And the reasons I like them are totally reasons why someone would hate them.
Yeah.
But oh well.
I didn't think this would turn into a Star Wars video when we started.
Oh well, it's too late.
Sorry guys, when Star Wars gets on the table, it's kind of hard to take it off.
What episode are you at in Clone Wars?
I'm at the part right now where Ventress is trying to kill Count Dooku.
That's always happened. No, wait, no, when is that?
Which with the Night Sisters specifically. 3.
Oh, 3.
Middle of season 3.
Sure?
Yeah. I know where I'm at. Because I'm in this stretch of all the last parts of season 3 all kind of go together. I'm watching it chronologically. I'm not going in the release order.
I just finished rewatching Clone Wars, and now we're on Rebels.
No, I can't wait to get to Rebels. I'm excited.
Rebels is so good.
It's my first time through Clone Wars and eventually going through Rebels, so I'm excited. It's going to be good stuff. Star Wars is just always good.
Star Wars is always... It's like pizza. Yeah. We never had bad Star Wars.
No.
In my opinion.
No. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What time are we at?
I don't know.
Let's see. 24 minutes. So we got 5 minutes.
We got 5 minutes left.
So what else have we been watching?
I just watched...
Is there a movie or anything that you've been...
just watched?
Or reading?
I'm reading through Lord of the Rings right now.
We both are.
We both are.
Yeah.
We're reading through Lord of the Rings, and that's been good. What did I just watch recently? Do you have my phone over there?
No, that's my phone.
Gosh, what did I watch? Because I watched House for our review recently. And there was something else that I watched. Oh, I watched The Lighthouse recently.
The Lighthouse.
Which is like a movie I constantly bring up, which is so like, I'm like, shoot, I talk about that movie way too much in our like aspect ratio stuff. Even though in the videos you guys only saw it once, I kept trying to bring it up, but it's like, no, don't talk about it. I don't want to be that A24 guy who only brings up The Lighthouse, but it is a great film, so sue me.
Yeah.
No, some stuff on my list though. There's this one called High Life with Robert Pattinson that looked interesting.
Oh,
That's
the
kind
space
of
movie,
it's been
right?
sitting on my list for a long time because I forget that I have Amazon Prime and that comes with video, so that stuff just gets touched last always. I finished Legend of Korra not too long ago for the first time, and that was really great. I'm trying to think what else is on my list of like things I'm getting through. I've had a long time away from The Boys.
Oh,
and I'll
the
probably
TV
eventually
show,
get back to that show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of forgot about it once I started Clone Wars. It's like
Yeah.
once you start, I don't
That
know,
happens.
I haven't gotten back to it yet, but I think it's really cool. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it.
It's pretty good.
So looking forward to that. But yeah, what about you?
Well, like you said, Rebels, Clone Wars.
Any movies you watched recently that you were like into?
I've been watching. So I just got I've been trying to. Whenever I get new movies, I always put a stack right there in my of like to watch. And some of those are just rewatches, but that I already have. But so I'm working through my Christmas movies that I got, and I got the Bruce Lee Criterion Greatest Hits, I think it's called. It's like a box set of a bunch of his movies. So I just finished that last night.
Nice.
I didn't watch all the behind the scenes, but I should. But I haven't yet. But what did I watch? Yeah, it was Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon, and Enter the Dragon. And on my shelf there of to watch, there's a bunch more Chinese martial art movies.
Those are fun movies.
Yeah, so some of those I've seen. Like I've seen Come Drink with Me. I've seen Yojimbo and Sanjuro. Those aren't Chinese. Those are Japanese samurai movies. Because I know someone would be like, he doesn't know the difference. No, I do know the difference. I have a bunch of Asian cinema sitting there that I'm waiting to watch through them. 2 of those I haven't seen. But I've been watching a lot of martial arts, Chinese, wuxia movies. And they're so good.
Yeah.
No, it's like, because they're not realistic. They're like fantasy kind of.
I love that.
And it's
Those are fun.
it's like Star Wars, but without like them saying Star Wars and the lightsabers and sci-fi. Like, because they all have magic powers. Come Drink with Me. She's got they're leap. I mean, all of them are leaping through the air and doing everything. But the dude fire bends.
Oh my god.
He just straight up fire bends, and the other dude air bends, and they're fighting at the very end of that.
That's crazy.
And it's like, this is amazing.
What's it called again?
Come Drink with Me.
Have
It's super good.
you watched it yet?
Yeah, I've seen it, but I'm gonna rewatch it. That's on my
When are you rewatching it?
Probably after I finish that.
Oh. What's this?
That's Star Wars Clone Wars.
Oh, nice.
No, that's the 2D animated Clone Wars.
Oh, I love those.
Because I finished the 3D, and now I'm working on the 2D.
I was wondering what this was. He's got a TV over here, and it's got stars on it, and it's been on for a bit.
It's paused.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, so lots of honestly Star Wars and Star Wars related, or influence of Star Wars.
I've been jumping into just because you brought the 2D animated Clone Wars. I've been watching Samurai Jack.
Yes.
And I'm watching 3-episode bursts.
So good.
Because man, they're just operating on another level.
Season 5 is amazing.
Yeah, I need to get there. But what's crazy is it's shot for 4:3 aspect ratio TV. So when you're watching on a normal TV, it's already got big black bars on the side. But when they cut in with the aspect ratio, I don't know what it is, but it's just cooler.
It's
just neat.
Yeah.
It looks so good with just surrounded by black. It's just very contrasty animation. Oh, I love it.
And especially when they do 239 or 235, where it's literally just a rectangle in the center of your TV.
Yeah. Oh man.
But
aged so well.
Season 5 is 16:9.
Oh,
and it's fun to see how they play with.
So good.
Yeah, the way they play with it is really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Man, I'm psyched on that. Yeah. This was fun.
Yeah.
This was a neat format. We haven't tried this before. Just talking.
Oh, we got 15 seconds left.
All right, guys. Well, we got 15 seconds left because it's a DSLR and it only records to 30 minutes or whatever. So let us know if you enjoyed this or not. If you want to see another episode. Until next time, you guys can still hear the audio. We'll see you on the next one, guys.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.